Wait.
Jack.
Mother?
The water duct runs right under the cell. Look for a loose stone in the floor. It'll sound hollow.
What? How do you know that?
Anna. 我发现，我看完奖杯列表，我发现艾莲娜有女伯爵这个路线，她有成为女伯爵这个路线。现在有所以我现在是觉得说，她这个角色应该是为了游戏里面加进去的，然后最终决定，然后选择路线，最终可以决定角色最后的走向。如果艾莲娜如果走女伯爵的话，应该弟弟应该是保不住，所以他才有机会成为女伯爵。我又不是修到死教书就再也不回来了，是这个吗？逆幻石板，母亲是我唯一可依靠的人。这也太狭窄了，试都不用试。哦，实心的 ，no。
Doesn't sound hollow.
对，然后他那个成就列表就直接写得很清楚了。艾莲娜成为女，他有一个成就是艾莲娜成为女伯爵。哦，还有这个可能性啊。
The cracks are too narrow to pry it out with my hands.
哦，就这一个。
This could be it.
对，应该是要他让他弟弟，我真的好饿，但我不会去乞讨。应该是要牺牲弟弟才有机会那个。
This one looks easy to pry out, but not with bare hands.
我真的没想到那个弟弟居然废到一直跟姐姐伸手要钱，而且还当骑士哎！我真的觉得不会觉得很丢脸吗？在那个时代背景之下，男方还一直跟女方要钱，然后男方还没有什么进步，还一直要钱，我就觉得真的有点。不知道怎么讲。
With that hole, I could lift the slab out. She was right.
水车卡住了，水车不会动。
Jack, tell me, was it about Aliena? I know about you two. I have known for a long time.
And how did you know how to get out of that cell? How did you know?
Your father. He was locked up in there as well.
Was he a monk?
No. They said he was a thief, but he was not.
Is it true then? What they say, that he was hanged in Shiring?
Yes, but he was innocent.
How? How did it happen?
Someone here in Kingsbridge gave him a jeweled cup and told him he could go. A mile down the road, he was arrested and accused of theft. It was like a game to them. They said he had stolen that cup from the Priory.
Who said that?
3 men. He managed to escape the way you did, but they caught up with him. They hanged him in Shiring.
Who were those men?
It does not matter. It is all in the past now.
Once you told me my father was a jongleur, that he came from France.
That is what he told me.
杰克的父亲是谁？杰克的妈妈说，那些关于他父亲的谣言是真的，他的确因窃盗被吊死在下廊。但艾伦却说，杰克·沙勒伯格并不是贼，他坚信他的死有3个人脱不了关系。那些人从记事簿里起的修道院拿了一个镶有宝珠的杯子、珠宝的杯子给他，稍后以窃盗之名将他逮捕。艾伦不愿提起将杰克·沙勒伯格害死的那些人，他们是谁呢？尽管他和这位法国婴幼诗人相爱过，但对于他如果来到英格兰，他的家乡在哪，他却一无所知。
You want to leave?
What if I have family there? There must be someone who remembers Jack Sherberg, right?
I knew this day would come.
I'm not a monk.
I know.
And I can't work here with Alfred.
I know. You really love her, don't you, Aliena?
Yes.
You truly are his son, Jack Jackson. This place is too small for you. After your father died, I went into the forest to get away from it all. But if you live like an animal, then they treat you like one. Do not let them, ever, find your way in the world. And when it leads you back to me, I want to hear lots of new tales.
Of course.
Those that killed your father, the people they killed, will return to haunt them. I promised them.
Waileran disrespects you. After all I've done for him. Why rely on him for salvation? There are many priests, many bishops.
Maybe. But you are not making decisions for me either, Walter. No one is. If the Lord wants me to support Waileran, he will let me know.
And what if he does not? What then? Will you allow Waileran to order you around?
这动在这边感觉好微妙啊！动然他母亲突然起床了惨，这叫声。可能从濒死中突然醒来，惊恐吧。艾莲娜的家，是不是有什么声响？基本上毫无进度。我赚了第一笔钱，我家族需要被毁账。
Leave with door open. The draft will kill me.
王子他不见。
Whew, it's getting cold.
一位客人，
Yes?
I'm sorry for disturbing you on an important day like this, but have you by any chance seen Jack since yesterday?
Has something happened?
He's gone. We've been looking for him all morning.
No, I haven't seen him. Does anyone know why he left?
Well, yes, and I'm afraid it is my fault. I had him locked away. But in the end, I just punished anger with wrath.
Well, find him then.
My monks are already trawling the woods. I myself will go to Shiring, while Martha is taking a horse to a cave he used to know. Please, don't let this spoil the first day of your marriage, when there should be only reason to rejoice.
Thank you.
3天后。
They still haven't found him? How long has it been?
Three days.
Well, I think he's gone for good. I love him like a brother. But first he tries to kill me.
他杀你不是很正常吗？
Then he runs off. Woody and his family sick.
Are you hungry? I think I'll prepare some food.
Great. I'm starving.
阿佛的是脑子是出问题是不是？他想杀你，你怎么想都想不出原因吗？一个脑子有正常在运转的人，通常都知道他为什么想杀你吧？一个脑子有正常在运转的人都知道他为什么想杀你吧？他脑子有正常过吗？我在怀疑。
What are you cooking?
Frumenti.
What's going in it?
Wheaten ale with milk, spices, venison and eggs.
Well, as long as it tastes good.
Spices. I need to add some spices. And I mustn't forget the eggs.
这是玛莎昨天带的还是前天？啊，真的是遇到有两个笨蛋。
We've been married for what? A week?
What the fuck？ 哦，在现代男人敢问这句话，马上什么叫做食物？什么叫食物一条？
I haven't been counting.
才第几天而已，就在问结婚多久了？
Feels like a lifetime already, doesn't it? Yet we still haven't, you know.
才第几天而已，就在问结婚多久了？这在现在你敢问这句？你敢问这句，马上地上一个算盘子，你根本跪了，好不好？我天哪！
Oh, I'm sorry. I want this to work, but I need time.
It's alright. Sometimes you look at me like you think your husband isn't a good man.
没有。
But I am a good man. You'll see.
是不是好人我是不知道了，但是我可以确定是个白痴。是不是好人我不知道，但是我可以确定是个白痴。
Spices. And I mustn't forget.
现在还有调味，我想起来了。 我要做饭，重做，很快这项目就不够了。12天后。
Today, I was thinking about what you and Philip did for our workers when they were afraid that they wouldn't be paid. Offering them coin to make them stay and feel safe. What if I did something similar? How about I could offer them pay in case something happens? Like an insurance. What do you think?
Could you afford it?
That's up to the prior to decide. He said he'd come over around noon tomorrow. Maybe he could eat with us. And you could help me explain the idea. If you want.
你不自己讲啊
I think it would be good for you. To do something other than cooking and weaving. You haven't left the house in 2 weeks.
"17 days. Would you like venison with it?
No, thank you. I'm just here to talk.
Ascetic as always, I see.
It just turns more and more into a habit, really.
非常枯燥无味。阿尔弗雷德就是那种，我是觉得跟杰克比起来无趣很多。他比以往更苍白、更瘦，连剑戟兄弟都开始议论他了。
So, you are suggesting that we promise the workers money if the construction is not completed?
Yes, as an insurance.
为什么盖不完还要给？
Since the Fleece Fair, they've been quite worried. It would ease their minds a bit.
Yes. Especially since they know they don't have to finish the cathedral in order to get rich. It sounds to me like we would be tempting them to fail deliberately.
对啊，你不
I hadn't thought about that.
建不成还要给钱，这什么道理？
Philip is right. Your plan will only foster greed.
I don't know. I think the idea's good. My workers would know that they would get paid more if they finished the thing. They're not as greedy as you two make them. I just want to ease their minds a bit.
Yes, you said that. Your idea shows great compassion, Alfred.
Thank you, Father.
But Lady Aliena is right. Man's heart is cruel and wicked. It'd be only a matter of time till the devils of greed and fraud would find their way into Kingsbridge. But that's not the point I wanted to make. I could never promise them coin, because one cannot give what one does not have. Ever since the market collapsed, Kingsbridge is losing more than it earns. We may even run out before we complete the cathedral.
It was my father's dream to build that thing. We must finish it.
If Alfred loses his work, we won't be able to fund our battle against William Hamley anymore.
What if we build faster? Make a new plan that will cost less? You always said a finished cathedral could draw people from far and wide, didn't you? People and their coin, right?
Is that an option?
It is. I've seen it done before. I can do it.
All right. I promise you, I will think about your proposal. Oh, milady, your soup.
这次味道好多了，我觉得。8月，这不是玛莎吗？我们之前谈论的是生意，现在满口都是杰克·艾弗瑞，真是大不如前。
Thank you. I'd never thought that my brother could work so hard.
那是他分内的事。
He does what he has to. I would never have thought. Really. Alfred has changed. He used to be such a bully. He seems really concerned about things now. About Kingsbridge, about you, about your family. I can't wait for you to give me a little nephew or niece.
别说实话。
That won't happen. No? No. Oh. By the way, I got the blue dye you've been asking for. It's from a woad merchant in Winchester. Took me some time to find him.
Oh, thank you so much, Martha. I guess now I finally have to finish my weaving.
How's it going?
It's going quite well.
What does Sir Richard think of the idea?
I haven't told him yet. When he comes here, he's mostly interested in coin. But that's the deal. He fights and I pay. It's an endless circle.
是要打多久？他这个
The
仗是
coat
要
of
打
arms shall
打几
remind
年？
us of who we are and where we come from, so we don't end up losing
当一个
purpose.
骑士没收入吗？不可
Have you
能
decided
吧？
on an animal yet? You really should have an animal on it.
嗯，
It will sport an eagle.
An eagle. Flying among the clouds. I like that. Ali, I'm so sorry that I mentioned wanting a niece. I just thought, in the last month, that you were, well, growing a bit?
Oh, I'm just getting fat.
对吧？我觉
You're
得
not getting fat.
我是觉得好像
You
怀孕
forget
了
that。there's not a lot for me to do other than sit around and eat.
Then we should take a hike
我是觉得他
soon.
跟杰克在
Stretch
教
your legs
堂
and
顶
get
上
some
那一晚，
sunshine.
可能就可
I'd
能
like that.
那时候可能就
I
怀孕
would
了。
like that a lot. But not today. I need to finish the coat of arms first. Get it done while I still can.
艾莲娜跟他结婚主要也是为了也是为了资助他弟弟而已、啊。如果没有那个废柴弟弟，他真的没必要跟那个艾尔弗雷德结婚。我这边当然是以我个人的立场来玩，没错，嫁谁都好，为什么要嫁给艾弗瑞？已经来不及了，现在已经很明显了啊！现在就算现在真的圆访也来不及。这边是我按我个人喜好选择的。 啊，艾弗瑞其实应该也知道那件事啊，好不好？他在那个什么啊，他们两个在大礼堂上的时候，其实阿尔弗瑞德也有看到。阿尔弗瑞德那时候，其实那时候他也有看到，所以该怎么讲？就算这个时候真的有什么，他除了接受还能怎么样？他除了接受还能怎么样？对不对？你那一晚的那一天的事情，他也看到了，对不对？你就是明知道他们两个已经上床的情况下，你是要娶她，那你就要有这个心理准备，就很明显嘛。你都明知道你明知道有这件事发生，那你还要娶她，就有这个心理准备。
I have to keep on going. Marrying Alfred was a mistake. I knew it all along, but I saw no other choice. Not if I wanted to stop William Hamley. And Alfred was the only one promising to help me reclaim my father's inheritance. And ever since we've been married, he's been working deep into the nights to finish the cathedral. And when he's home, he expects nothing in return. Although I can see so much longing in his eyes. He does whatever he has to do, yet none of it pleases me. All I do is bicker. I made a mistake. And to make things worse, I am pregnant with your grandchild.
You brought this on yourself. You had the love of your life, but you threw it away.
这不是杰克他母亲吗？
Do you scorn me for what I did?
No more than anyone else. First and foremost, I blame that priest who turned my son into a monk. But you're a very close second.
他决定是决定什么？我这个选项就很明显，要去找杰克。这是决定什么？因为他这个选项让我有点摸不着，也让我就摸不着头。他的决定是什么？决定什么东西？
What if I brought Jack back?
我不知道，算了，我选右边好了。
Jack has left England.
哎。
There's no possible way to find out where he went. I want you to know one thing. Jack loved you. For me, that makes you still family. If you can't have his baby, give it to me. I will raise it far away from this crooked world that had no room for my son.
I don't want to give our child away.
Then you cannot stay here. You cannot go on like this.
But I have to. Don't you understand? It's finished.
那就卡在那个废
I
废
want
柴
you
地
to。wear it when you go to battle. To remind us of what we are fighting for.
卡就卡在那个废柴地里。
Huh. Why an eagle?
Because it rises higher than any other animal and proudly rules from the skies. We must never forget our noble cause and that we have to be an example for the people who look up to us.
You hear that, Alfred? I'm an eagle.
这理查真的是很废。
Grow up, Richard. This is important.
我天哪！
Sorry.
How's the war going, by the way?
How is your standing with the king?
It's getting better and better. The good thing is, William Hamley is turning out to be quite the lousy player. In our last battle, he ran away when things started to get a bit tight. They say he was afraid to die before he settled matters with his mother.
His mother?
No one's seen her in years, not since her husband died.
Huh?
But rumor has it she's still alive and joyfully pulling his strings. Mention her to William, and he goes as pale as a sheep. Ali, we are so close, but we need to be careful. We mustn't let our guard down.
Is there anything you need from me, Richard?
Well, a new saddle would be nice.
I'll see to it.
And a horse to put it on, of course. The last one caught quite a few arrows.
Right.
连马都买不起哦。
I'll be out for a while.
当个骑士
I've got some business at the market with Martha.
All right.
是这样，当个骑士有穷成这样吗？家族徽章可以在盾牌外衣。当个骑士怎么那么穷啊？穷到要四处跟你一定要得四处跟人要钱，连马三小都跟人家要，要不然就没有。有那么骑士那么穷吗？
I can't believe you two have almost done it. You've almost won your father's earldom back.
Oh, don't say that until it's actually happened. I'll see you later in the evening.
Ah, there you are.
I always wondered what it would have been like to grow up in a forest.
Oh, it's cold. Very, very cold. When I was young, I spent a night in Ellen's cave. If it hadn't been for her soup, I would have died for sure.
自从艾弗瑞·菲利普谈过后，他们在里面工作，现在扣完工了。他们这边有更多城镇，像基斯布里奇这样的城镇。关于哪天我会再次出发？艾伦和杰克莱兹呢？我想他们那是怎么样的生活？但是我之前也无法想象现在的生活。天气又逐渐变冷，这些蜜羊很快就不需要羊毛了，是不是可以生意做生意了？理查催促艾弗瑞建造城墙，又要抵御汉姆雷的家族。但首先我们要有钱进他。着陆场是用来运输木材的食材的，或许我们可以用它运输来货物，这样有利于集市的发展。
What kind of soup?
I think it had deer in it.
Deer?
Yes. Jack had caught it before we met him. I think it was the only one he ever caught.
But hunting deer is...
I know. It's punishable by death. Jack never was one for rules and laws.
Right.
本来他住在森林里面哪知道杀戮是犯法？他连受过教育都没有吧？
He was always busy with something, just not with what Tom asked him to do.
Jack? Yes. Yes, he was.
You will be an aunt soon.
What?
But don't tell Alfred. I haven't told him yet.
You still think marrying him was a mistake?
I do.
I do too. But you did it for very good reasons. So, maybe it wasn't a mistake after all. Maybe it will work. Not in a loving way, but more like a partnership. You two seeing eye to eye to each other.
But the baby is not...
What was that?
啊，对，之前那个杰克有说过，这个教堂的结构没办法支撑石头。
They built it too fast. Like the Babylonians, they sought to be grander than God, and for this we all have to suffer.
It was the stone roof.
对啊，
He
是的屋
started
顶啊。
building a stone roof. If Papa had still been alive, he would have stopped him.
杰克
You're
那时候
with child. How can you be with child if we never...
在阿尔弗雷德是真傻。
My cub is gone and will never return. You threw it all away for a life of lies and a kingdom of dust.
Without a cathedral, my mother will spend an eternity in hell. And by God, I hope you won't suffer the same fate for this. I can't stay. Not without work. And not like this. I'm sorry.
Shh. Shh. There's no need to cry. Hmm?
杰克那时候有说过啊，他那时候说教堂的结构没有办法支撑石头制的天花板，但是汤姆跟那个艾弗瑞两个都没有在听呢，两个都没在听呢。
Where do we go from here?
汤姆是太过自负，然后阿尔弗雷德是太蠢，然后汤姆太过自负。
We will build a cathedral right here, towering high above Shiring. But it will not be a cheap undertaking.
Money is no object. I shall build it for our Lord and my mother, so that the Lord will heal her.
I am sure he will.
上帝不会治疗。
Ah, yes, there he is.
Who?
We will need a master builder.
My bishop, I think I have the right man.
My bishop, my name is Alfred Builder.
结果直接倒戈到杀父仇人那边呢，哇！这家伙也是挺垃圾的。你没为你爸报仇就算了，还直接帮你爸的仇人工作。这我该说什么才好？有至少离开那两个笨蛋。你应该不会回你努力不让自己绝望。他已经彻底离开了金斯布里奇。
Next time on The Pillars of the Earth, witness the climactic final part of the series.
It's time we take back what was taken from us.
It's time to face our enemies.
It is time to make a stand for what we believe in.
这是菲利普吗？
The Pillars of the Earth, Book 3, The Eye of the Storm.
The White Ship. She was one of the fastest vessels that was ever built. The man who should be king of the English now, the son of King Henry, was on board when she sailed off. And with the prince there were 140 knights and many nobles, all on their way from Normandy to England. They say the ship hit the rocks, and then a fire broke out. Even before the White Ship had departed, the prince and his men had begun to drink and get violent. Monks that were meant to bless the voyage were then forced to disembark. Some say the ship had been cursed. The king's son and many of his family were pulled down into the Black Sea that night.
连这个王子也是个废物啊！白船， 世上最快的船。我觉得应该世上乘的最快的船吧。
You're forgetting one important detail. Not only these monks, but also Stephen of Blois, the king's nephew, left the ship before it embarked. They say he got ill.
That old rumor.
The same Stephen who calls himself the King of the English now.
What? That cannot be a coincidence.
Yes, it can be. Of course he's king now. He survived. He is the king's nephew.
What do you think, my lord?
I think Stephen is a clever man. Clever enough to have his whole family perish. But why he would want to rule that god-forsaken rock, I will never understand.
What makes you say that? I love my country.
Then why are you leaving?
Well, because I want to see something new.
I'll tell you what you're going to see. A proper country, where people know how to behave.
What about you? Why are you leaving?
I'm looking for someone.
For who? I guess I should stay out of other people's business. Forgive me.
You English do talk a lot, don't you?
I just don't know how to feel about leaving my country for the first time. I mean, how should anyone feel?
You'll see what happens.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just running away.
说希望好像有人说绝望好像也不太对。
You should all get some rest. It will not be long now till we reach Cherbourg.
Thank the Lord. I can't wait to be back.
所以那个贵族那是法国人。我觉得艾莲娜真的很倒霉，弟弟是个笨蛋，然后又遇上一个又笨又坏的，然后呢，到最后还不得不嫁给一个笨蛋，就这样一直围绕在三个笨蛋之间，被三个笨蛋逼得惨兮兮。就为了三个笨蛋浪费了很多时间，超惨的。诺曼底社堡。
In the late summer of 1142, I had left my home country, England, for good. My old life lay in shambles, as did my former home of Kingsbridge. Having failed both my friends and family, I had set out to find my baby's father, the man I still loved with all my heart, Jack Jackson. And so early one morning in July, I finally arrived on the shores of Normandy. With nothing on me but a pouch of coin and a young, curious face yet unnamed, who was just as unfamiliar to this new world as was I.
白船是当时速度最快的船之一，掌舵人是莫拉，对啊，就很红头发超明显，那头红发，怎么看都是杰克的发色。莫拉号船长的儿子，1066年征服者威廉从诺曼底入侵英格兰时乘坐的便是莫拉号。同其父亲一样，这位白船船长也荣幸的 将自己的船呈给亨利国王的王室贵族，供他们从诺曼底到英格兰拜访国王时乘坐。然而，其他可怜的乘客一样，这位船长也没能从那场航行中逃生。在一个漆黑的夜晚，这艘船不幸触礁并且熄落，然后这艘船底便被深不可测的大海吞噬，连同船上许多王室后裔。布洛瓦的史蒂芬本来也该在这艘船上，但据说在开船之前，他突然因病下了船。这个史蒂芬运气也太好了吧！虽然说要不然就是在船上可能弄了什么东西，然后呢就找借口下船之后让船沉了。然后在那个11月的晚上，随着该船的沉没，史蒂芬成了英国王位唯一的男性继承人。于是有人声称沉船事故与他有关，要不然就是他真的运气很好，好到爱的意思，好到可以那个工匠。我认识这些工具像杰克一样的工匠。
You're still here?
Oh, it's you. I'm just trying to get my feet used to good solid ground again. The last bit of our voyage wasn't exactly my pint of ale.
That hammer you're carrying, do you happen to be a mason?
Actually, I am. You have a keen eye, mistress.
I guess I just know a mason when I see one.
To be honest, I haven't been one long. Just finished my apprenticeship in Salisbury. Before that, I used to shear sheep with my parents, but I guess that wasn't really for me. Father still hates me for leaving, though.
What will you do to find work here as a mason?
Don't know. That's for me to find out. All I heard was that the wages are better over here.
So you'll just travel from town to town and look for employment?
Right. And I was starting to say, a fellow mason told me about the abbey there. He said these Normans build their churches quite differently than we do back home. I need to see that with my own eyes. Maybe learn a thing or two.
对，或许可以有一点线索啦。莱塞的修道院。
Do many masons go to Lesay?
I dunno. It's really just a tiny town. The mason who told me just happened to do some repairs there once. It's likely he told others as well.
I left my old life as well.
Scary, isn't it? To start off fresh and all that.
Well, you definitely sound more excited than scared.
Oh, I am excited. Wouldn't anyone be?
I don't know. Maybe. I'm looking for someone. A red-haired mason called Jack Jackson. He came to France about a year ago or so.
A fellow mason? Great. Unfortunately, I wouldn't know a thing. After all, I just arrived here with you.
I know, but should you meet someone like that on your journey, tell him Aliena of Shiring is looking for him.
All right. Jack Jackson. I'll keep an eye out for you.
Thank you.
哇，至少有个线索，莱塞。
Have a safe journey.
Oh, thank you. You too.
有一阵子我还以为但那不是他。
Good day. I am looking for someone. A traveler who came through here last summer. Oh, hush now. I need to talk to this man.
Looks young.
He was born at the beginning of summer.
What's his name?
I haven't given him one yet.
You should. He needs to know who he is. Makes growing up a lot easier. You said you're looking for someone.
I'm looking for the boy's father.
From the look of your baby, I reckon his father has red hair like me, right?
Well, I don't know every redhead around these parts. There are quite a few of us. Most of my family here in Cherbourg is ginger.
Oh, his name is Jack Jackson, and he is a mason.
No. No, sorry. I haven't seen him. And I come here every day. Maybe Amay saw him. She helps the sailors get their cargo to the nearby towns. Carries travelers, too.
I'll ask her. Thank you.
Hey, you. That's quite a bundle you got there. Where are you headed?
Have you seen a red-haired mason? He must have landed here sometime late last summer.
Another ginger in Normandy? I wouldn't have noticed, even if he was carrying a hammer instead of a fishing rod. Maybe you should ask someone in Barfleur. That's where all the travellers come through, the pilgrims and kings. Their lot rarely lands in Cherbourg, with the fortress passing back and forth between Stephen of Blois and Geoffrey of Anjou. Why you even came to Cherbourg in the first place baffles me.
It was the earliest ship I could get.
You must be in some hurry, madam.
Let's just say I needed to get away before I changed my mind.
Fine with me. Who am I to judge?
可能有人在巴尔夫勒见过杰克。哇，2个目标啊！
What other routes are there besides going through Barfleur?
Oh, I don't know, really. You need to ask the locals about that. But Barfleur sounds like a good place to start. Shake my hand and I'll take you there.
Do you know the road to Lessay?
Been there, seen it. But I hope you're not planning to go there on foot. Tell you what, you give me some coins and I'll treat you to me wagon. You can even change your destination once we're on the road. What'd you say? Travelling by coach is a lot less strenuous than walking. Your little worm deserves some warmth and a rocking carriage. Changed your mind, madam? You know, I reserved a cozy spot just for you.
是没得选择好吗？这边连个离开的路线都没有，是没得选。
All right, take me out of town.
All right, where do you need to be?
要读哪一边呢？巴尔夫勒或莱塞？要读哪里？这算是一个赌博吧？看哪？这算赌博？应该算。巴尔夫勒，我是觉得杰克应该不太可能跑去看修道院吧？他比较可能跟他父亲的时候好像当吟游诗了，或许。好吧，先走巴尔夫勒。
We went to Barfleur, a scenic port town built on granite. It was the biggest harbour in Normandy and the main entry point for the Normans to their new possession of the Isle of England. I talked to some of the sailors and fishermen, but no one had remembered seeing Jack. How could they? Almost a year had passed since he, a simple mason, had journeyed through the busy town, a town with no memory other than that of the last king who passed through on yet another one of his violent conquests. Maybe I was approaching this the wrong way. What had drawn him to France in the first place? The distance to Kingsbridge? Or something specific? What was my lead?
我是觉得他应该也是想当吟游诗人吧。他明显对他父亲的职业有点兴趣。
Lasay was tiny, but as it turned out, worth the trip. In the small abbey church of the Trinity, I met a monk who claimed to have talked to a man fitting Jack's description. He'd been fascinated by the abbey's rib vaulting and had asked the monks countless questions about the place's construction. The monk apologized that he couldn't tell me where Jack had traveled next, but I didn't mind.
啊，杰克不是对当工匠没什么兴趣吗？
I lay down to sleep on the floor of the Abbey guest house and, for the first time in almost a year, I felt relief. As I drifted into sleep, I hugged our baby tight and whispered into his tiny pink ear, "We're going to find your daddy."
所以这样的话呢，那就真的只往这边走。先来圣山看看啊，说不定圣山有。
My father had once told me tales of the Mont Saint-Michel. Long ago, the Archangel Michael had urged Hubert of Avranches to build an abbey on a lonely rock on the ocean by burning a hole into his head. They say one can go and see his penetrated skull on display in the church of his hometown. It was a windy day when I arrived, and the place was crowded with pilgrims and jongleurs. I remembered Jack's fascination with these tellers of stories. I spoke to one who was just taking a break. As it happened, he had indeed met Jack, although not in Mont Saint-Michel, but on a road heading east from there.
不过其实在这个时候，真的有时候出去外面走一走，就放开一下眼界，或许会好一点。真的，他该怎么讲？他的这辈子几乎都在下朗跟金斯布里奇两边，就一开始在下朗，然后在金斯布里奇，几乎度过了大半辈子，还也不算大半辈子吧。前三分，反正前段就是前面的部分几乎都在那边度过。对，出来走走，或许也是有好处。
Apparently, Jack had been hopelessly tracking jongleur who might have known his father, Jack Cherbourg. But as he'd been gradually running out of money, he'd intended to look for work in Le Mans or Tours. That was about 6 months ago. I was catching up.
盲了或图了。6个月哦，6个月的话。
Going to Le Mans reminded me of all the trouble I'd left behind in England. 30 years ago, Le Mans had been conquered by the Plantagenet Geoffrey of Anjou, Maud's husband. And although they'd held it ever since, other noble families kept on pulling at the city, like Maud and Stephen tearing at England. There was no sign of Jack, but I got news of a new kind of cathedral being built in Saint-Denis, just north of Paris. It was possible that Jack had gone there to learn from the craftsmen. That was, if he hadn't travelled further south, looking for work in one of the many churches in Tours, the hometown of Saint-Martin.
有可能在这里，也有可能在这里当了学徒。 赌赌看吧。经过2个月的艰苦跋涉，法国中部图尔，这边好像对，这边好像也在建教堂。右下角是麻雀，跟汤姆之前做的一样。 回到金斯布里奇，如今一切看起来都那么的遥远，看起来都有自信，但嘴边却挂着一丝不悦。
Good day. Are you the master builder?
What is it?
I'm looking for a mason who may have passed through here. An Englishman with carroty hair. He calls himself Jack Jackson.
A redhead?
Yes. Did you see him? He might have asked for work here.
No, I'm not looking for new masons. We're just doing repairs.
But was he here?
No, never seen him. Now, stand back, woman. Something could fall on your baby's head.
Are there other construction sites around Tours?
Well, yes. It's a big town.
And where would an outsider most likely find a job?
Dunno. Ask around.
You hesitated when I mentioned a redhead. Are you sure you haven't seen him?
Yes, I am sure.
May I talk to your workers?
No, they're busy. And I can assure you they have nothing to say on that matter.
Perhaps I'll talk to them once they're finished for the day.
It would be a waste of time. All right, he was here. Was working for me. But I had to throw him out after 2 or 3 days.
Why?
Because he was all want. Let me redesign the roof. Let me make the nave lighter. All pretty ideas, but he never shut up long enough to do the work he was supposed to do. Shit, that man was almost as needy as my son when he was still a brat.
He does know a lot about his craft.
Well, I know masons like him. They grow up gifted, but without a mote of discipline in their guts. Can't work with someone like that.
Do you know where he went next?
No idea. Maybe to Limoges or Angoulême. Maybe even to La Rochelle. Seemed to have plans for every cathedral on God's green earth, but none for himself.
I understand. I'll leave you to it then.
Bon voyage.
所以杰克有来过这儿，所以是可以确定的。然后之后就3个选择。哦，好险没有往上走。哇，这个选择越来越大了。好，我直接赌大中间的大教堂。
We had just left Tours when I suddenly felt dizzy. I stopped and made rest, trying to catch my breath, then lost my breakfast in a ditch at the side of the road. To my horror, our baby too had grown pale, his breath shallow like that of an old man. I tried not to panic, but the next inn was a long distance away and we couldn't stay on the road where it was wet and cold. I managed to walk until the sun had fully risen before I keeled over. A knife merchant who'd been travelling behind me flagged down a coach heading back to Tours and haggled with the coachman to carry me back to an inn.
我应该往上走，我本来只要往图尔走。
Back in Tours, the fever got worse. I remember people carrying me into a room, laying me on a bed. I tried to feed my baby, but after that, everything turned into a blur. When I awoke, Jack was standing next to my bed. He scolded me for following him. You know you could go anywhere you want, he whispered. Why be stupid and follow me? I tried to answer, but he just opened the window and jumped out, heading toward ancient Greece, or maybe all the way to Arabia. And in my feverish mind, I followed him.
这是梦吧？这在做梦吧？希腊跟阿拉伯半岛，这确定不是在做梦吗？
The further I went, the angrier I got. For years, I'd been fighting for my family. I'd committed myself to an oath to my father. I'd built up a business to sustain it and even married a man I despised so I could create a future for the people around me. I'd known nothing but my duty to the men in my life, while the man I was trying to find lived a life of casual irresponsibility. He traveled the world on a whim to learn about mathematics and philosophy, while I had to raise the child he'd fathered. When could I ever do anything just for myself? I asked the world as I went on.
我觉得这是梦吧，应该不可能是真的杰克吧。又回到金斯布里奇，不要跟我说就是因为这样。
I traveled in a circle all the way to the edge of the world and back, only to return to the place of our failure. With my eyes closed, I listened to the sound of ripping yarn and crumbling walls, and of coaches carrying good people away into a cloud of crimson dust.
在梦中爆炸了，在梦中爆炸了。在梦中爆炸，
When the
压
last
抑
moat
就
had settled, I opened my eyes again and found myself in a dirty little room.
在
An
梦
old
中
maid was
情
sitting
绪
next to
炸
my
开
bed and smiled at me, then handed me my baby. Oh dear God, he still looked so pale.
好可怜，我就觉得艾莲娜真的最可怜。
The more I tried to keep him warm, the colder he felt. Oh, please, God, let him live. Don't punish him for my own sins. I gently caressed his head until finally he put his mouth to my breast and drank more and more, becoming greedier with every swallow. We had both been spared. We rested one more day. Then I gathered my things and headed back to the cathedral to thank the Lord for his mercy.
你其实想也知道，杰克不可能说出那种蠢话。我应该感谢上帝救了我们宝宝的命。
I thank you, dear Lord.
All right, steady
I thank
now.
you for having spared my child. I thank you for...
Don't let go until it's done.
Why are you showing mercy on me? I failed everyone I cared about. I failed Jack. I failed my brother. And if I never return, I would also break the oath I had given Father. It's just that I feel like I've never had a life of my own. I've always fought for others. And this may be the very first time that I fight for something that I only want for myself. Maybe I should just go back and help rebuild Kingsbridge. Maybe Jack doesn't even care for me anymore. Amen.
充满了不安。
Huh.
这好像是教杰克雕的耶。
I've seen one of those before.
It's amazing, isn't it? The man who did that really had it in him.
I agree. He always did.
Oh, you knew Master Jacques?
Yes, but it's been a while since I last saw him.
It's a shame that the Master let him go. In just 1 month, he did so many things.
What did he do?
He came up with ideas for how to make the construction easier. But the Master didn't want to hear it. To tell you the truth, everyone thinks that he feared for his own job having someone like that around. The last thing Jack did was carve that corbel. It was the one thing the Master let him do. Then when he was done, he was asked to leave.
做师傅的总是很担心被学徒追过，然后要么就是留一手，要么就是搞死他。
Your master said he had no discipline.
Let me tell you something. Jacques worked very hard on it. He was impatient and had a temper, but you could see that he tried to overcome it. Conquering that rock was very important to him.
Oh, I understand that so well. Do you happen to know where he went next?
He wanted to walk the pilgrim trail to Santiago de Compostela.
The Camino? The Way of St. James?
He said he might find someone there who knew his father.
Just one more thing. How was he when he left?
Never thought about that. Relieved, I guess. He seemed ready for something new.
Thank you so much for your help.
Think nothing of it. And good luck on your travels. May you find what you are looking for.
Isn't it odd? Just when you stop looking, you come across the most curious of things. Like these 3 devices that one of my merchants brought back from Baghdad.
Oh no. Is it another one of your Banu Musa toys, Rashid?
They're not toys, Adriel. They're objects of scholarly ingenuity and reflection.
I will let my valued friend from the north do the honors.
Jacob?
Jack, if you may.
所以他改做这些工艺品嘛。他取得的习惯就是以
Let me draw your attention to the magnificent songbird on the table. And then to that wondrous donkey next to the entrance. Although the most astounding thing of all stands right between them. On second thought, why don't you save the lady for last? Otherwise, the other 2 devices might appear bland and boring in comparison.
I agree.
That statuette?
Ha, precisely. But one thing at a time. Let us let Jack decide what to demonstrate first. Did you fill the tank yet?
So 这是要装水的哦，这是要装水。
He likes to take his time, doesn't he?
这啥东西啊？我连看都看不懂。
Now, Jack will heat the water in the tank.
绝不能让许拉德知道我烧毁过一座教堂。
It's so beautiful it will make you cry. Just listen.
哦，利用蒸汽。巴鲁穆萨，巴鲁穆萨兄弟是波斯裔的3位学者，在9世纪生活在巴格达。他们有一本著作叫《奇妙装置》，讲的是由器械和自动装置的机械原理。这些自动装置大部分都是用来娱乐的，但在工程设计上却十分创新。这三兄弟还写了关于天文学、占星术和几何学的书。最后的几何学著作对伊斯兰和欧洲的数学产生了巨大影响，完全跟我们没有任何关系。
How marvelous! How does it work?
Maybe it's a miracle.
Right.
Go on, Jack. Tell them.
他被写进腹底了。
There's a hidden wheel inside the box. It turns an axle that in return raises and drops a sequence of small cylinders inside. These cylinders work like fingers playing a flute.
But who is blowing into the flute?
Steam.
Steam?
Yes. When I opened the pipe, it gradually pushed itself into the tube.
The power of steam. For once, I must agree. This is brilliant.
Of course! It was created by a Muslim after all.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. What else have you got, Rashid?
Anyone care for some tea?
Thank you, my daughter. We will have some as soon as Jack has finished our presentation.
Mind if I watch?
Of course not.
So, who is this man, Rashid?
Jack is a friend of the house. A brilliant man, a scholar and a talented artist.
喝茶
Don't let me distract you, Jack.
不能喝茶。
Just the other day, he explained Euclid to me.
What is that?
I could watch this man scoop up water all day.
A Greek who wrote a book called The Elements
You
of
showed
Geometry.
it to us already.
The Egyptians translated it into Arabic, and now the Englishmen are turning it into Latin.
所以
How very peculiar.
所以接下来呢？
You really like to take your time. Don't keep us.
No, it's for the...
啊，原来是这儿啊！
Now, watch the head. Just any moment now. There. Did you see?
为什么？
It threw up.
Rashid, this is disgusting.
Oh, far from it. Would you kindly explain how it works, Jack?
纯粹就是魔法。有个北蓝的。
You see that bowl floating on top of the water? At the bottom of that bowl is a small hole. Through it, the bowl is slowly filled with liquid. Once it's full, it sinks, pulling a string which makes the ball drop onto a weight. This, in return, pulls the bowl up again, emptying it in the process.
Thus, resetting the entire mechanism.
If you timed it perfectly, you could make it drop a ball at every hour.
Turning it into a clock. How clever.
For me, it's still nothing more than a puking donkey.
呕吐的驴子。
Show us more, Rashid.
One could join those two and build a singing donkey clock. One song after every hour.
That would be pretty clever.
I know, right? You could be the one to build it.
Oh, that would be unfair. It's your invention.
I would let you have it. Or we design it together.
You still haven't shown us that statuette yet.
Of course. Jack, if you may. Oh, you will love this. Just watch.
我就把它放在阴凉的地方，这边我也没晒太阳，就这里了，小桌子。
And now?
Just be patient, but don't look away. It takes some time for her to...
To do what?
Is it crying?
Isn't that amazing?
No, it's irritating. Rashid, what is going on?
它很神秘，不清楚这个。
We have no idea how it works.
Rashid, please. We all know that there is no such thing as a man-made miracle. And this piece of wood is very clearly made by man.
I very much agree, my friends. But so far, none of us has an explanation.
All we know for certain is that her glassy eyes shed tears when you move her from warmth into cold.
Like a plant at sunrise? Like dew? The only difference is the surface, that's all.
I think you may be onto something.
Am I? Of course, I had no intention of disturbing your conversation. But if you can find out why there's dew gathering on a plant, you may understand why that woman is so weepy. So, who wants a cup of tea?
I'll have some.
Your daughter is quite something, Rashid. A scholar in her own right.
I know. I'd rather she wasn't. It would make marrying her off so much easier.
Oh, I'm certain that won't stay a problem.
我觉得有点危险。
Maybe the dew originates from invisible water in the air. Water that stays hidden when it's hot.
对啊，我怎么觉得有点危险？糟糕，糟糕了。
The pilgrim trails across France converged at Osterbat in the foothills of the Pyrenees. There, the group of 20 or so pilgrims who had been travelling alongside me since I'd left Tours swelled to about 70.
正常人都不会想到
prosperous citizens, some probably on the run from justice, a few drunks, and several monks and clergymen. Several languages were spoken, including Flemish, a German tongue, and a southern French language called Oc. Nevertheless, there was no lack of communication among them, and as we crossed the Pyrenees, they sang, played games, told stories, and in several cases had love affairs. While my baby and I kept mostly to ourselves.
正常也不会想到吧，对不对？因为那时候艾琳娜跟阿弗雷德已经结婚了。
Ganz schön frech, die mit ihrem Kind.
所以这段没翻译。
Hush now. Hmm?
Richtig dreist.
感觉是故意，好像是没有翻的吧？可能是可能是别种语言，所以就没翻。
I'm sorry. He has to cry himself out before he'll fall asleep. It will give you a strong voice one day, won't it? Do you have children?
Kann ein Mann nicht einfach mal seine Ruhe haben? Der Weg aus Babenberg war doch anstrengend genug. Ein Kind hat ja auch gar nichts verloren. Stimmt doch, oder?
Psst, jetzt ist's aber gut.
Mann. 阿尔加河。
Dear Lord, what are you doing? You should get out of the water. It's freezing.
My ring. I lost my ring. Dear Lord, please show mercy.
找找看能不能找到戒指。
Come back to me, please. Come back to me.
找不到，我没有，可以吧？诶，有看到。
The cold will kill you.
看到一个在闪闪发亮的东西。
I can't leave without my ring.
在。
Where are you? Where did you go?
我找到了戒指。
I found it.
Yes! Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You are a very kind woman. So very, very kind.
I'm glad I could help.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Are you getting warmer?
I am, thank you.
I can see this ring is very precious to you.
It was a gift from my stepmother. She thought I would stay forever, but I didn't.
Tell me about your stepmother.
She was such a kind woman. So very, very kind.
Why did you leave?
Oh, I thought I didn't belong. She always said I was her daughter, but I was sure she was lying. I was so selfish and so stupid. Too stupid to see I really was happy.
Maybe you really weren't happy.
I don't know. I was very young and thought I was unhappy because I didn't live close to the sea. But in the end, the sea did not feel the same about me. The cold there made me sick. It took away my sight.
Why didn't you go back?
She had been so angry when I left. So angry and disappointed. She would have never let me return.
Ah, that's why you went on the pilgrimage.
Yes, so that St. James might see my devotion, and I will be united with my mother in heaven. I'm just not as kind as you. Not kind at all.
Actually, we two have quite a few things in common. I too am trying to make amends with the one man I loved the most. I was told he went straight to Santiago.
You will know soon.
Not soon enough. It's still 4 weeks till I get there.
4个星期哦。
He'll be there, I'm sure of it.
I hope so. I just feel that with every day that passes, I'm losing him a bit more. And that the only thing I can allow myself still to hope for is not love, but forgiveness.
I understand.
Hey, hush now. Not long now and our journey will be over, hmm?
圣地亚哥朝圣之路。 圣地亚科德孔波斯拉特拉，这个名字这有点长，又称圣詹姆斯之路，是一条以圣地亚哥德孔波斯特拉大教堂为目的地的基督徒朝圣路线，内存放着耶稣使徒圣詹姆斯长老的遗骸。圣地亚哥是除耶路撒冷和罗马之外最重要的基督徒朝圣路线之一，人们认为它是少数能赦免朝圣者罪恶的方式之一。从12世纪，这条路线已自成体系，甚至还有一本为朝圣者所写的朝圣指南——加里斯都卷轴，可以帮助潜在的朝圣者完成旅行。圣杯用于指引朝圣者的朝圣之路，也是圣詹姆斯的朝圣之路的象征。因为朝圣之路的尽头接近海洋扇贝。哇，所以到最后还是往上的。
The woman's name was Alba. She came from a small town somewhere in Catalonia. I quickly got used to her constantly feeling out for her stepmother's ring and the sad guilt that would always follow in her milky eyes. I wasn't sure if she appreciated my company, but I couldn't leave her on her own either. By the time we reached Los Arcos, she'd stopped talking, while I kept on dropping a kind word here and there to let her know I was still by her side. Alba believed herself to be of weak mind and body, and yet she walked the Camino with a strong sense of purpose that willed her onward. It made me wonder about what I'd told her about my own journey. Did I hope for love, or was I really traveling because I needed him to forgive me? But what was there to forgive? My decision to marry Alfred had been in the best interest of the people of Shiring. It was a sacrifice I had to make to stop the evil reign of William Hamley. These questions had haunted me for a long time now. But if I really was going to see Jack soon, it was time to make up my mind. Around Lyon, the path began to gradually turn uphill. It was only 2 more weeks till we'd reached Santiago. The baby was in a good mood, and so, surprisingly, was Alba. After Astorga, the trail got more difficult. Alba became slower and slower, and we had to rest more. She became quiet again. The strain on her old body grew, and she worried that she might not be able to reach the end. Still, we managed to push onward. The next morning, she refused to get up. Her breathing was disturbingly shallow, and she hardly noticed me touching her forehead. Everything hurts, she said, and urged me to continue without her. Of course, I stayed with her. I brought her food and water and sat by her side. But day after day, her condition grew worse. She kept on urging me to go, to find Jack, saying the monks of Ponferrada would take care of her.
有种直接离开的话，好像会有种，总觉得会有一种后悔的感觉。
I'd hardly known her, and most of the time she'd tried to push me away, as if she considered herself a nuisance that slowed me down and who didn't deserve company. It wasn't until a few moments before she died that, for the first time, she smiled at me, and I like to believe that she saw me smile back. I still like to believe that here, in this unlikely place, dying next to a near stranger, she'd found a moment of serenity and happiness, but she'd not reached Santiago. When I left, that thought still haunted me. To see that a journey could come to an end so suddenly. But what would be different if she had reached Santiago? Could she have been disappointed by what she found?
最后还是离世，也没办法，他还是撑不下去。年纪太大也是一个关系吧，已经有一定年纪了。
After months of hard travel, the child and I finally reached Santiago de Compostela. In the evening, we attended Mass in the great cathedral, then started to roam the town looking for my dear Jack. It was almost dawn when finally a priest pointed me to an inn close by.
我知道上哪找啊？休息的朝圣者，旅店老板，他是对啊，感觉更惨。希望是不要啦。但是他大概他，我是觉得希望，但是也不能说不可能吧，因为毕竟当初是他先那个的，当初也是他先背离杰克，说真的，他也没办法怪杰克。
Buenos dias. Do you understand me?
Sinto ben, pero non temos camas dispoñibles.
No, I don't need a room. I was told a friend of mine stayed here some time ago. A red-haired Englishman called Jack. Do you remember him?
Eu só che falo en galego, miña rula.
Français? English?
对吧？杰克应该也没想到他居然他居然射了他的孩子。
Have you seen a man called Jack Builder? Jack? He's a mason.
Jack?
Yes, have you seen him?
Pásanche por aquí centos de peregrinos, e cada un eche de seu pai. Vas ter que ser algo máis específica.
I don't understand.
我也听不懂。这边有人可以帮我翻译吗？有吗？好像没有。那座大教堂，杰克来。
I was told that Jack stayed here, but how can I make myself understood?
我都开始忘记他的样子。
Oh, que cousiña! Eche rubio.
Sí, redhead. Have you seen his father, Padre del Niño? Jack Builder?
Ven sendo un peregrino.
What?
É un peregrino?
Oh, no. He's not a pilgrim.
Entón, quen ven sendo?
这边有哪里可以？哦。
Let me show you something.
啊，唯一能指就大教堂。
He's a mason. He builds things like that.
Ah, eche masón. Albanel.
Sí, a mason. It's the same word in Galician.
Por aquí pasan unha morea de masóns. Non me poderías dicir algo máis sobre el?
Well, he's a mason and he has red
翻
hair.
译一下嘛，让我知道他
He's
说什
also
么。
very knowledgeable. But how do I tell you that?
我是希望他翻译一下，好让好。
Oh, can you help us translate?
O inglés non cho falo, desculpa.
好吧，这也不行。
I was told he used to stay here.
¿Diz que o rubio está aquí? Ah, xa sei a quen andas a buscar. Xurxo!
总觉得鸡同鸭讲啊。
Que foi?
O raparigo este é che fillo teu.
Pois, non che sei. Case que non, eh?
No, he's not the man I'm looking for.
Semella que desta aínda zafas.
The man I'm looking for loves to read.
Anda, isto é che do masón.
See, it's his.
Oín falar dun masón que dis que se dedica a traducir libros en Toledo.
Polo visto, di que se chama Jack.
Yes, Jack. Have you seen him?
Non sei cal será o seu apelido, pero ben é certo que non chai moitos masóns rubios aos que lles guste ler. Se tan desesperada está, por que non vai a Toledo a comprobalo por si mesma?
Entón, marchou para Toledo.
O te amo.
I don't understand you.
Di que o teu Jack podería estar en Toledo.
All right, so I will go to Toledo then. Gracias. I just pray that I understood you correctly.
완전 최하보. 这语言不通的痛苦，哎，这是很痛苦。有去韩国的时候也是啊，去韩国的时候，连要吃个麦当劳都要在那边，糟糕，我该怎么解释？超痛苦的。
Buenos dias. Parlez-vous français? English?
Of course. How may I help you?
I was told a man named Jack Builder lives in this house.
Who told you this?
A group of scholars living at the edge of town. They said he used to translate old scriptures about mathematics before he moved here.
Please wait here. I will talk with Master Rashid.
哦，终于找到了。又大又明亮，但跟家里的房子一点也不一样。那个渊源花那么长时间在干什么？杰勒肯定喜欢这样的设计。如果他不愿意离开了，如果他没有，我会更幸福。啊哈，越想越多，好奇妙的喷泉，就像天然泉水一样。有一个监狗，离开英格兰后已经见过一些了。上礼拜后，一定要让杰哥在这里。让我想起了今日布里奇的修道院，只是他们阻挡的是好天气，而不是坏天气。河西吧。总觉得好像要走，应该是要走进去才会触发吧。就这边好像也没别的地方可以走，因为没地方可以，应该可以去，应该要走进去才会触发剧情。当然也不能敲门之类的。 弹弓，一个
It's his.
杰克在这里，有这个证据就够了。找到杰克的痕迹。
Oh, there you are. May I ask who let you stroll around our house?
I was asked to wait here.
Yes, my servant told me already. My father's not here at the moment, so you'll have to make do with me.
这说不定会造成秀罗场，没错。
Unfortunately, I must disappoint you. There's no one called Jack living in this house.
看来他不愿意让他见到杰克。
He must be here. I found his slingshot.
What? Who allowed you inside my father's archive?
I didn't mean to be disrespectful of your hospitality.
I just hope for your sake you didn't touch anything. Every piece in there is precious to my father, even that slingshot. I'm sorry, but this is not easy for any of us. I think you should know that Jack and I are promised to each other. Maybe we should go inside. The sun's burning, and my mother doesn't need to hear us.
这下真的修罗场了。
Jack told me about you. You are Aliena. You're the one who rejected him and married his stepbrother. And now you want him back.
I'm here because I love him.
He always said that he had come here to find out about his family. But instead, he found out about everything else. About philosophy, mathematics. When he and my father met, it was love at first sight. They studied together and made great plans. But in the end, Jack would always start talking about his cathedral again. This great church he would build one day. Rib vaults and pointed windows. He'd ramble on about it for hours and stare up at that ceiling. We three sat here for hours and talked. And then in the evenings, it would be just the two of us. So many strange ideas about the future. Some barely more than silly dreams. Others almost in arm's reach.
You're talking about him as if he were gone.
Well, he's not here anymore. My father had offered him work as a master builder here in Toledo. He would have been well off and free to spend his evenings under vaults like this, with me as his wife. But in the end, he refused. Tell me, did you really marry his stepbrother?
It was a mistake. I know that now. I did it to fulfill a promise I'd made to my father. I thought I had no choice. I didn't want to hurt him. Believe me.
I do. You know, he left me because of you. Even after all you did to him, he couldn't let go. You can be glad that you ran into me and not my mother. She was enraged when he left.
He can have that effect on people.
But apart from that, we made our peace with him. Father even gave him one of his favorite pieces of his collection as a parting gift. A small wooden statue with stone eyes in exchange for his slingshot.
Would you mind telling me where he went?
He went to Paris.
Paris.
To work on the Cathedral of Saint-Denis. He said he never found out about his father, so there was no reason to stay down here anymore.
Paris?
Yes. If you find him there, tell him I don't miss him.
Thank you, and all the best to your family.
Thank you. What is the child's name, by the way?
Well, he has none yet. I wouldn't name him without Jack.
Isn't that a bit silly?
Maybe. But he's his son as well as mine. It's his right to have a say in it too.
Then off to Paris. That baby needs a name.
He will get one.
对，至少比想象中和平解决。主要是因为杰克拒绝了那个啦，拒绝了他，所以杰克拒绝了他，所以就收场还算勉强算和平。如果杰克还留在那边，他们两个还是订婚的状态，那这就有的吵了。
Passing through Astorga, Lyon, and Burgos, I crossed the Pyrenees, revisiting Bordeaux, Angoulême, Poitiers, but never stayed longer than one night. The closer I came to Paris, the stronger my old doubts and fears resurfaced.
从东跑到西，然后再从东跑到西，转折向南，然后呢，看到消息之后呢，又向，然后又向北，又向北开始走回头路，哇，好惨！
If Jack really was there, what was I to say to him?
你为什么要给他一巴掌？然后哪里不对吧？
I'd pull him very, very close, wishing for all the wounds to heal as quickly as they could.
哇，真是长途跋涉。 圣丹尼教堂。好，找人的时间到了。这都是工人，石头。 功力。如果认不出杰克怎么办？如果他不愿意见我，大教堂。
I can't just leave. Even if he doesn't want to see me,
哦，那是离开了是吧
he deserves to see his son.
为的是进去的门，就是离开的门。啊，这一个啦，就看衣服就知道了。窗户折射出彩色的光。
There. Are we awake then? You almost missed this. Look at these colourful windows. Look at the light.
吓到了，转身就见到。
We came to see you, Jack.
We? Is he?
怎么看都是你孩子。
He is your son.
这法色怎么看都是你的，不要推脱。
My son?
怎么是法色怎么看都是你的？
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. Ali, where do we go from here?
Wherever we go, I want to go with you.
Will you marry me? Both of you.
We will. We stayed in Paris as husband and wife. And our son, Tommy. The days went by quickly. Jack had learned much working as a builder in Saint-Denis. Days became months. Then after a year, we both grew restless. Where can we go from here? We asked ourselves again. We both confessed that we wanted to see our families, our friends. And then we knew where we wanted to go. Home.
对，还是得回去金斯布里奇。
Even if it was in shambles.
这是注定的事情，要回到金斯布里奇。
We need to hurry. The ship to England will leave soon.
What's going on here?
Whatever it is, if the crowd doesn't clear up, we'll miss our ship.
我们的相信哦，他离开前拉许德给他，拉许德人这么好、哦。但是内部可以保暖，木头有些潮湿，是吧？还另一些烂死。
Could make the horse get their attention.
Or ride it through the crowd.
That sounds a bit dangerous, doesn't it?
You think?
这挺危险的。
Do you know what's going on?
Oh, chaos. I can't get these people to calm down. God knows I tried.
What happened?
The jongleur told the crowd a few stories. Then he sold people some miracle charms, but it was just fairy tales and painted stones.
Well, it always is.
I know, but I'd need a real miracle to calm them down now. Otherwise, they'll rip him apart.
哦，好吧，能做就这个了。 气愤的暴民，但总是得回去见他母亲啊，见他母亲。
What's going on here?
He's a thief. He told us lies and stole our money.
But isn't that just a simple jongleur?
That poor man. We need to help him.
但是杰克总是得回去找他母亲的啊，家人的部分真的不好放下，我只能这样说。
Have you tried calming them down?
I did, but a single priest just wasn't enough.
Have you tried? She doesn't do anything yet, but if I stood with her where it's colder...
让它变凉哦。
Oh, what a remarkably foreign-looking likeness of the Holy Virgin.
Do you think this might calm them down?
I've already tried appealing to their faith. It would require a direct word from God to calm them down.
有了，这里看到了阴凉的地方。
Do you see? It's working.
Your friend Rashid must be quite the miracle worker.
他在银布名义然后呢，拿给神父，接着拿给神父处理了。
It looks like she's crying. Good Lord. How does that work?
Have you tried?
I did.
Mustn't fool around now.
Oh, he...
按太快，不会，这要给气愤的报名看。
Look! What's going on? The Holy Mother. She's crying.
Revere the Holy Mother, for she has blessed us with a sign from the heavens. Cease your doings right now and witness the miracle.
It's true. Lord in heaven. Why is she crying?
因为我们赶得上船。
She weeps for your sins. What has this man done to you that you would treat him like a wild animal?
He tricked us and took our coin.
And you would kill him for your own foolishness. The Holy Virgin weeps, for you are not living by the word of God.
It is the Mother of God.
Forgive us, Holy Mother. Where did she come from?
编个故事。
For hundreds of years, she languished in the land of the Saracens. Dormant, she has been waiting for the one to bring her home.
Listen to what he has to say. The Holy Virgin has chosen this young family to protect her. Tell us all where you are headed.
Her destination is beyond these waters. In the small town of Kingsbridge, in the earldom of Shiring. There she wants to rest.
Kingsbridge? Where's that?
Hail Mary!
Make way for the Holy Virgin!
Hallelujah!
那时候的信仰真的，那时候信仰真的骗到
Blessed
头了。
Mary, let my daughter conceive.
Give us a good harvest!
They're donating to ask for her blessing.
Oh.
好，至少不用担心不用担心
The
旅费。
weeping Madonna shall hear your prayer.
好多钱的声音啊！
And
我听到了钱的声
with
音。
your donations, I shall build her a new shrine at Kingsbridge, a cathedral.
这谁？
It's you.
这谁啊？
Who do you mean?
You, the red-haired ghost.
Me, a ghost?
他谁啊？
My husband is very much alive. I've known him since he was 12 years old.
But he drowned. By God, you drowned. 24 years ago.
20年前，谁？
On the white ship. My poor son. My Jacques.
His name was Jacques.
所以
Jacques Cherbourg.
所以这是他奶奶呀
Cherbourg
他奶奶。那这样遇到他奶奶，哦，这样子也能遇到奶奶哦。哇，这个，我是觉得这个也是挺像另一个奇迹的。这真是算奇迹啊！至少还找到了其中一个家人，算家人了，真的也算家人。除了他母亲以外的家人，所以到最后还是回来了金丝不离奇。
So much has grown, but there are no roots, no herbs.
这边直接用简体字，哇，乔纳森长大了，不再是当初那个流着鼻涕的小鬼。
What are you looking at, Jonathan?
The garden is in disorder. I want it to be right again, but I don't know how to do it.
Before I became prior, I thought the same about Kingsbridge.
Well, what did you do?
I cleaned up.
Where do we start?
对吧？菲利普苦命人啊。不仅被他的信仰所抛弃，啊然后又被建筑师抛弃，被信仰抛弃，他已经，我是觉得菲利普已经没有什么东西可以失去，你知道吗？他现在情况好像就是已经没什么东西可以失去了，他唯一剩下就只有这个，只剩下这个崩塌到一半的教堂。我觉得菲利普是最可怜的，他真的是最可怜的。是菲利普是很可怜，菲利普。跟艾莲娜比，两个都很可怜。可以有这个艾莲娜的，不要这个艾莲娜的。
What are weeds?
They take away what the other plants need to grow. Light, water, room.
What do we do?
Pluck them. They look a lot like every other plant, so you need to learn how to tell them apart. Here, you see those?
这样看杰克其实算幸运的。
They're called wood sorrel. Let's pluck only those for now.
I'll do it.
杰克已经算幸运的，跟菲利普还有艾莲娜比起来。
Make sure to pull out all of the thin roots.
And now what do I do?
好吧，至少好点敲他身没长歪。对啊，至少没吹到被三个笨蛋搞死。不过也好险，那个阿弗雷德走了哦，要不然我是真怕乔纳森被他带坏。
For plants to take root, the soil must be loose and fertile.
So, may I dig now? Done. What's next?
Stay here. I'll be right back.
哪来的种子啊？我记得那个谁，收了很多植物的。
Now where did you put them?
对啊，放哪边去了？然后当初我他当初我收集植物的种子。
Ah, here they are. I found these nuts for you. Remember, Milius? You always said that one day there will be a beech tree growing here. I think it's about time.
米列斯就要莫名其妙被杀死，我是觉得真的很。
What did you bring?
Do you remember Milius? A kind man with a warm smile. Well, he told me to give you this.
Wow!
Now we just have to wait.
All right.
哎，不浇水，浇水的选项给我。 没那么快，乔纳森没那么快。
How long?
Too long for us to keep sitting here.
That long.
Some things take time. And only with patience will you receive your reward.
Why do we have to do all these things if all we had to do is wait?
Simply waiting would not have been enough, Jonathan. You just paved the way for things to take their course. They are happening right now. And in a few days' time, we will return and see the first green leaf of something new.
Oh. Is it God's reward?
Maybe.
Does he make things grow?
You made it.
No, I just planted the seed.
我只是很疑惑，为什么修道士都要剃光，都要剃头？这是我最疑惑的事情。
Now you can fetch some water from the rain barrel.
But that water's smelly. It's been there forever. There are many trees by the river. I bet that water's better.
That's a longer walk, though.
I don't mind. The distance is worth it.
Maybe you're right. It is worth it. Let's walk together then.
But I'll carry the bucket.
Why isn't Remigius holding the sermon? What's gotten into Philip?
Our church lies in ruins. But all of this, these dire times, have revealed something important to us. Something that, maybe until today, I wasn't aware of.
What do you mean?
Eh? 他不是被他就哇，这两个选择都，这两个选择基本上就像是在完全就是否定上帝的存在了，否定上帝的部分。这边还是会盖起来了，我觉得这边还是会盖起来，不过应该是由杰克盖的，应该是应该是会让杰克把它盖起来。只是我这边不知道该怎么选，算了，这个好了。
God doesn't watch us from above. While you and I have waited for God to make things better, a lot has happened. Hardships and happiness. Yesterday, I heard the choir sing a new chant and was moved beyond words. Today, Jonathan tended to our garden to make it beautiful again. And he told me of things I almost had forgotten. God doesn't work in the ways we might assume. All good and all evil the scripture tells us about are not out there or in here.
都要靠自己比较实际一点啊，靠上帝没有
They
用
are
啊。
within
你
each
靠
of
上帝能
us.
干嘛？这两个都对。这边就难，这边的话，这两个都对，只是就是一个正反面的那种，这就是一个正反面的感觉。
God made us in his image. Thus we carry the godly spark within us. But we have witnessed that man can have the devil in his heart as well. Prayer needs no special place, for we are his church. In our actions, he exists.
We are God's temple.
No man is closer to God than any other man. Whether you pray in church or on the streets of our towns, whether you're a man, woman, monk, or bishop.
Philip, look outside. You have to see them. You've got to see the horses and the colors.
Jonathan.
真的跟我朋友说的一样，那些牧师呢，总是有他们一套说辞，但是你又很难你又没办法跟他们反驳什么东西，因为他们就是有办法，他们就是有办法把它用上帝的方式把它圆回来。
Now, what's going on?
I heard noises and I went to look.
Calm down. What happened?
But the priest said they brought a miracle.
Huh?
Who? What? What priest?
Step right up, brothers and sisters. For you are about to see something that will change your life.
Huh?
Who is that?
They brought us a miracle.
A miracle?
Don't be shy. There is no danger. Just awe that awaits you here. Ah, you must be Prior Philip. I am Brother Reynolds.
左边那是那个。
I have been sent by the Archbishop of Canterbury. Here is his letter, in case you have reasonable.
左边是杰克·贝塞琳娜。他们两个在那边，你们两个在那边干什么？金斯布里奇的菲利普。对，他们现在不知道打算干什么，就对，用那个会流泪的圣母像。我特此恳请你接受呼气的圣母玛利亚的恩赐，因为他选择把他的圣石建在金斯布里奇，应该是，我觉得应该找借口吧，找借口让他们把这边再重新建造教堂。当我听到一个关于奇迹的传闻时，我便让这支队伍来见我，然后我亲眼看见它是真的。我宣布这是英格兰的奇迹，并且打算让它留在温彻斯特。但圣母玛利亚的守护者们却改变了我的想法。他们来英格兰的目的，只是为了支援基斯布里奇的重建。愿上帝保佑你，基斯布里奇的菲利普。我希望你能看在圣母玛利亚的份上，重建你们的修道院。坎特伯雷大主教希尔保特，
We've been charged to accompany the weeping Madonna. She is to replace the loss of your relic, Saint Adolphus the Martyr, who was taken from you, I hear, with brute force.
What?
On her travel from far away Africa, she has collected donations to reward Kingsbridge for your faith in her and in the Lord.
I can't believe this. What is all this?
You do believe. That is why she came. And that is why you shall witness her miracle for yourself today. The weeping Madonna came to me in a faraway land named Africa. A baptized Saracen was her former guardian, and I and the custodians of the Holy Virgin were chosen to take her on a journey.
Baptized? Please tell us more.
Of course. My words shall prepare you for the sight of the Holy Madonna. I knew not her powers or destination. Nevertheless, I carried her for many miles. Many bore witness to her miracle before it dawned upon me. She wanted to go home, but where? It came to me in a dream. It was Kingsbridge. But I wondered, what shrine should be her shelter? This time, it was the Madonna herself who answered my questions. She said, "You shall build me a new church in Kingsbridge." So we set off, with the blessing of Archbishop Theobald of Canterbury. And along the road, from Paris across Normandy, over the sea, and all the way to Kingsbridge. Devout Christians have given money for the building of the Church of the Weeping Madonna. This Church of Kingsbridge. The Weeping Madonna has chosen you, all of you. You heard me correctly. The Weeping Madonna came to me. A baptized Saracen was her former guardian.
Jonathan?
They're about to show the miracle. Look. Did you hear what he said? What is this place? Africa.
He's too excited. I don't like this.
他太兴奋了，我不喜欢。
A Saracen?
Do you speak English?
No English, no campandare. No.
这个
Oh, what's this? I think you might have stepped into horse dung.
What? Where?
No English, is it?
Just un poco, si.
Could you talk to this man, Martha?
Yes, it's strange. He was quite talkative just a moment ago. He told me he was from Damascus in Africa.
Isn't Damascus in Arabia?
There's one in Africa too, I'm sure.
Why are you pretending you can't speak English?
No inglese. Melada.
And I will tell
Another
you
question.
again.
Bonjour. Mi no comprendere, no comprendere, no comprendere.
True miracle that will change your life. As
My
she
dear people.
changed mine.
Oh, I'm so excited to see a true miracle.
Did you hear that? The Madonna has chosen us.
She's come all the way from Africa.
没人理他。
Please, everyone.
Shh! We want to listen to his story.
Many bore
这
witness to her
为什么什么东西都没有一个迷人的故事来的那么的让人专注？都没人理他，好
wanted to
惨。
go home. But when? It came to me in a dream. It was Kingsbridge.
Tell me the truth. Why are you here?
We are guardians of the Holy Virgin that sheds tears. We were appointed by the Archbishop of Canterbury, but it was the Holy Virgin herself who chose us while she travelled through Europe.
Oh, yes. How did that happen?
She speaks without words.
You heard me.
So you're telling me this is a real miracle?
A miracle, a blessing, a wonder.
The Weeping Madonna came to me in a faraway
奇怪的
land
动物。
named Africa. A
奇怪的动物。
baptized
They look
Saracen was her
almost
former
like
guardian.
horses.
I and the
他把马伪装成骆驼，
Hollow. Feels like a wicker basket covered in pelt.
他把马伪装成骆驼，
could have continued to carry her
他在马背上放了一个驼峰，然后他变骆驼。
succumbed. But this was not her will. But I wondered. This time, it was the Madonna herself who answered my questions. And I will tell you again.
That's not fit for a shrine. And I
She
think there's
is a
someone
true
snoring
miracle
in there.
That will change
Strange.
your life as she changed mine. Many bore witness to her miracle before it dawned upon me.
要接超吗？后面应该是那个，后面应该是那个杰克他儿子。对啊，杰克他儿子。
You heard me correctly. It was a long
Don't
journey.
interrupt.
Now, brothers and sisters, I have heard that life has not been kind to Kingsbridge.
What country did you say you came from?
We have traveled all the way from a place of wonders too marvelous to behold. The faraway land of Africa.
Africa has many countries, I've heard.
Yes, it does. You must wonder.
What's it like in Africa?
The sun is always shining, and miracles happen every day. It's a land of great deserts, fig trees, and creatures that an Englishman can't even dream up.
Like these horses. Are they horses?
They are not. To you, they might resemble horses, but the name the Africans have for these creatures is impossible to pronounce, even for me. You must be thinking, how can he be so sure?
You mentioned there were fig trees in Africa. What are they?
It's a fruit, of course. It looks like a strawberry and tastes like a pear.
The scripture mentions these figs, and they sound nothing like that. Why is that?
No two apples look or taste alike. The same goes for figs. And doubly so.
I'm getting the impression that this man has never even been to Africa. But why would he lie?
And I will tell you again, she is a true miracle that will change your life as she changed mine.
Hey!
Shh! You heard me correctly. It was a long journey. The weeping Madonna came to me in a faraway land. A baptized Saracen was her former guardian. And I and the custodians of the Holy Virgin were chosen to take her on a journey.
I am Philip. Who are you, young man?
You must wonder, why was
Why are you hiding?
chosen to be the home of the Holy Virgin? She said,
Nothing sacred about this.
you shall build me a new church in Kingsbridge. So we set off. With the blessing of Archbishop Theobald of Canterbury, I will tell you again, dear brothers and sisters, the weeping Madonna. Can you feel it? Brothers and sisters, you are about to witness a miracle. The Madonna knows how you have suffered. The Virgin Mother had to witness the rise and fall of her Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, and never stopped believing. Kingsbridge has endured many hardships. Prior James left you before his time when you needed him the most. Your old cathedral was burned to the ground.
How do you know this?
And your new one collapsed even before construction was finished. You have suffered the ruthless destruction of your market, homes, and lives.
Dada!
All of you have lost husbands, wives, and children, family and friends.
Dada!
All of you know how it is to be hungry and afraid. But you have kept your faith.
Helena.
Philip.
And the Madonna
This
knows.
is a miracle, isn't it? Or something along those lines.
But how?
We thought it was time to give Tommy a home.
The boy? Your boy?
Well, Philip? Do you recognize him? Our little Tommy?
Tommy? But... Just what are you doing here with these people? Do you think I wouldn't notice it's all artifice? Your camels or horses, Your foreigners are English faking their accent. Your shrine is an old cart with decorations. And Reynold is just a dubious man speaking nothing but lies.
The camels were a bit much, weren't they?
With the Madonna, we were able to collect donations for your priory and for Kingsbridge.
Really?
We can start anew. We can rebuild the cathedral.
What's the catch?
I'll get to be master builder.
Why?
I've studied the cathedrals, churches, and houses they build in France and Spain. I saw how different their constructions were, with new shapes, colors, and ideas. Oh, you should have seen it. They combined rib vaulting and pointed arches. I want to do that. That's why.
Why here?
Because this is home.
这边也不算在说谎，不过我是觉得做才是钱的问题。
The townspeople probably think that's enough to build a whole cathedral, but to me it looks like about £100. You know that won't even pay for a year's work.
Like all of this, it's a symbol. Enough for a fresh start.
And the Madonna will stay here. Kingsbridge will attract visitors and donations again.
You mean I should be thankful for these lies and tricks?
Jack! Aliena! You came back!
We wanted to see you, little sister.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. But look at you! And the little one!
Tommy.
How are the others?
Alfred left Kingsbridge. Richard shows up every now and then, and Ellen returned to the forest.
We need to visit her.
What's wrong, Mother?
I'm glad you're back.
I am too. Very glad.
She looks like she's about to cry. She will weep for your suffering, Kingsbridge. She knows your pain.
What now?
菲利普，你就接受吧。菲利普就接受吧。
Her eyes are wet.
Her eyes.
Look at her.
They're shining.
She cannot hold her tears any longer.
然后连提真的，连提都不想提，你知道吗？他连提他哥哥都不想提。
Why are you weeping?
She's mute ever since her husband died.
The Madonna has suffered as I have. She understands.
哦，她是好像当初死老公那个吧？她老公死在马路上那一个，应该是吧？
It seems through her faith in all of your lies, Mary has found a miracle. We can't keep trying to repair Kingsbridge by ourselves. Things are not improving. We're struggling to keep things as they are.
But we can't afford to hire help.
Without farming and fairs, we're back to Prior James's time.
All these past years, my advice was good enough for you. But it appears you've changed your mind now, again.
It is time we started doing something to wake up and make Kingsbridge what it used to be. We did before, and we can do it again.
I'm not willing to accept a risk like that. Don't you remember what happened last time? My, how easily we forget.
I remember well.
然后应该人们只会相信自己想相信的，纵使他是个谎言。
random strangers to make things better.
人只会相信
Philip,
他
why
想
in
相信的
God's
东
name have you
西，
stood
即使他
by
是个
and
谎
let this happen? They're tricking us into giving them money for false idols.
They are giving us money.
So that we'll place this idol in our priory? Do you approve of this? 我是觉得，如果这边接受的话嘛，雷米吉尔斯这个大概会绝对会直接倒戈到那个沃尔斯那边去，直接倒戈到沃尔斯那边去，到时候可能就会麻烦会很多。
但是谴责欺骗的话，对，最麻烦的就是那家就，但是谴责欺骗的话，我也不知道这。不过这边不好选，因为现在雷米吉尔斯那时候，雷米吉尔斯目前蛮明显，已经跟那个啦，已经跟沃尔斯没有牵上线。他应该是不愿意在这边盖大教堂吧？他应该是打算让那个什么，让夏朗那边盖一个大教堂，然后他应该要过去那边当去那边当院长。好，要麻烦就麻烦到底啦，要得罪就直接得罪到底。好戏呀！要得罪就得罪到底也不管。
People need hope, and these travelers are giving them hope. Yes, it is a deception, but with good intentions. Mary speaks again. Is that not a true miracle?
You fell for them. You really did. And now you joyfully take part in their deceptions. I'm warning you. I cannot support a prior who tolerates heresy.
Your threat won't sway me. No matter how unconventional, their return and their gift are a blessing.
You made your decision, Philip of Gwynedd. And now, I make mine. I resign. I'm leaving the Priory.
我觉得他迟早会离开，雷米基尔斯迟早会离开。阿尔弗雷德在夏朗那边的大教堂盖起来之后，雷米基尔斯一定会离开。
And you're just as shy as your father was. Don't let him fool you. Usually, he's always up to something. Tom would have been proud of you. Of both of you.
Is she still here?
Hmm?
Tom's wife.
Oh, no. Martha and I moved her to Kingsbridge. She's with Tom now. He always wanted that. Ellen, we found Jack's family in Cherbourg.
The place he came from wasn't Cherbourg, it was Cherbourg.
But... really? What were they like?
They were good people.
His grandmother said Jack looked just like him, like his father. He does. But they never came for him or asked about him.
They thought he was dead. His ship sunk. He'd always wanted to go to England.
Have you ever heard of the White Ship? No. The King's family drowned.
My father was there. He was the only one who survived.
Not for long.
You told me that he was accused of stealing a chalice.
Yes. But I know he was innocent. I heard the story and had to find out what he looked like. He told me his name. I fell in love. I helped him escape. But in the end, they caught up with us. What happened then? They hanged him. I was there. And you were there, Jack. But you weren't born yet. He was led to the gallows. Everyone was quiet. The people somehow knew he was not a thief. But I knew for sure. He told me. He was so afraid. He didn't want to die. I didn't want him to die. And I prayed. Then I heard his voice. Quiet.
sang sweeter then than ever, as if the falling melody might wing and net dissever. At dusk the hunter took his prey, the lark his freedom never.
No! No!
You said that 3 men were responsible for Father's death.
Who were they? The Sheriff of Shiring, Percy Hamley, Prior James of Kingsbridge, and Archdeacon Waileran Bygod. They showed no mercy. Neither did I. I curse you! All of you! He will return to haunt you! One day, you will be judged for what you did. Your houses shall be consumed by fire. Your life shall end in pain and agony. You shall grow old in sadness and regret.
詹姆斯死了，然后剩下那个沃尔的。
The people they killed will return to haunt them. I promised them.
对啊，结果他们家真的烧了，被杰克烧了。这他们家被杰克烧了。
We welcome our new prior Remigius. He helped to recover the bones of the Saint of Kingsbridge, Adolphus, from the hands of thieves. Adolphus already rests safely in this great cathedral of Shiring. Our master builder Alfred promised me that it will only be a matter of a few years until the cathedral will be finished. And the Earl of Shiring has promised to support us. But he has not done so for himself. No, the Earl is not a selfish man. His mother, Lady Hamley, is sick. More and more, I feel the whole of England is suffering from a sickness. The sickness of war, poverty, and most of all, heathen beliefs. I have spoken to God. I asked him, begged him to walk amongst us, to heal us. But God told me that only when this great cathedral is finished will he have a temple to reside in. No matter the cost, this shall be a towering castle to protect us from evil and false beliefs. With this cathedral, we will bring an end to the dark times.
Waileran Bygod.
Jack, what are you doing here?
My father died by your hands, Waileran. His name was Jacques Cherbourg.
How dare you talk to the bishop like that?
He died right here.
Who are you?
I know that man. He's that bastard from Kingsbridge.
That man is my husband.
You?
All of you, listen to what we have to say. From now on, Kingsbridge is protected.
By our knights, by our walls, and by the word of the king.
So whatever you do, we will defend our town, our market and fulling mills.
And our cathedral, which we shall rebuild. All workers are invited to come and work for us.
Oh, preposterous.
If you so much as try to bring harm to us, Bishop, we will make sure that you pay for everything you did.
哦，直接呛了耶，下马威了哦，该呛的还是得呛嘛。
对啊，现在就真的就呛起来了。再软弱下去也不是办法，要么就是我就直接就是跟你硬刚硬的，大家就来，要玩大家就来玩。哎，如果你要玩，我也会让你死的难看。对，现在如果你真的要搞，我也会让你死的难看。没戏打开社会戏。哇，11年后啊，直接跳那么久啊！
It had been 3 years. 3 years of drought. 3 years of hunger and poverty.
这有点糟，有点狠。
England was brought to its knees. Only our walls had kept us safe from the bands of outlaws raiding towns and villages. Bishop Waleran and William Hamley forced the workers to finish their cathedral in Shiring. Many had died. The work on our own cathedral had almost come to a halt. 4 weeks the storm had raged on. It was then that our cathedral gave up its last secret. And everything changed.
Tom, I don't think you would have liked the sight of this. I don't think you would have liked the sight of this at all. I know. You've not planned the cathedral to be that high. But I reinforced the walls, like in Saint Denis. The storm shouldn't be that much of a problem. But if it's not the storm, then what is it?
东面山要倒塌了，为什么？是什么原因？看起来没问题的样子，但是北面的墙阻，一个小裂缝，熊女部，这个损坏墙壁，好几个星期了，狂风沙尘一直不停歇，希望艾莲娜没事。对啊，我觉得这座教堂真的多灾多难。
The vaulting is cracked.
Oh.
No. The roof looks all right. Over here, the vaulting looks weak. What would you have to say about this, Tom? Yes. If the vaulting was unstable, it could pull the wall inward and damage it. Especially with this storm putting pressure on the wall from the outside. We have to find out. If I widen these cracks, we'll see if our problem gets worse or not. I don't like it, but I'll have to fix it either way. If I make it worse, then we'll at least know what the problem is. All right. One more time.
If the vaulting were unstable, this part would have collapsed and the wall would retract. The cause of the problem is not up here. Tom, what would you have done now? When we erected the Eastern Wall 17 years ago, there was also a crack. Yes. No matter what we did, it always came back. This is not the same wall. We rebuilt it. But the cause could have been the same in both cases.
地下室一定有个裂缝。我记得当初地下室有个裂缝。
The crypt.
其实有部分我是被那个被奖杯剧透。
You kept the whole foundation there as it was. But it never had to carry this much weight
奖杯上面有个找到地下室的秘密。
That's it. The problem must be down there.
没错，我就被那个了。我看完成就列表之后，成就下面有个找到地下室的秘密。这边的话，大概我就想到应该是地下室的问题。
The Pope should hear about what you wrote.
I think so too.
菲利普变好老。
I would be honored if he read my book.
Philip, I really am worried about you.
There is no need for you to worry, Jonathan.
被奖杯剧透完了，对啊。其实有时候啊，菲利普小时候他带乔纳森在跑的时候，不是那个地下室有个也有个裂缝。那时候其实我对那个裂缝，那个裂缝你也不能怎么样，所以我觉得那时候就对那个裂缝有点该怎么讲，就喜欢这个裂缝到底是什么，你又不能调查。
That is very true.
Well, I fear the bishops. They might come to believe you took that power from them.
Do you?
我就觉得乔纳森真的没长歪，真的太好了。菲利普的第二本书《神圣灵》，对啊，这菲利普那个乔纳森没长歪，真的太好了。好险，他一开始就是被教会养大。菲利普在1448年写的，他们在文中表示，如果人是上帝创造的，所以所有人体内都包含神圣的火种。尽管上帝有时候像抛弃了我们，但事实上，上帝比任何事物离我们都近，因为我们的灵魂本就是神圣的。也就是说，我们不必等待外界的救援，我们每个人都能改变自己的周围的世界。我们可以撒下种子，上帝自会让它生长。菲利普的希望之音传遍了全英格兰，甚至传到了欧洲大陆，但是教会对书的内容很不满。在另一本书中，菲利普仅仅批判了虚假的奇迹，但他现在好像在说，所有人都是同等神圣的，神之人员和上帝的距离与普通人一样。因为那时候其实他带乔纳森下去的时候，那时候老鼠钻进裂缝的时候，我就有点那个啦
Jack，
我就有点在意那个地下室。
Have you been atop the cathedral during the storm?
Don't worry, Philip. The storm isn't as bad up there.
You shouldn't be up there risking your life. You should be with your children. Sally and Tommy have been asking for their parents all morning.
莎莉，她生了2个孩子哦，她生了2个小孩哦。自从答应沃伦要保护好金斯布鲁奇后，沃伦、理查和杰克花大部分时间巩固城墙。自此以后，威廉·汉姆雷再也不敢提起这座城了。艾莲娜恢复了她的羊毛生意。哦，那时候跟雷米基尔是翻盘。那时候跟雷米基尔是翻盘，好像应该是选对了，真的是选对了。跟那个迟早都会倒戈的人翻盘，刚刚好而已。大部分交易都在夏朗城外进行，他交易的大部分羊毛都产自金斯布里奇，因为杰克在那里建立了2个羊，这是那个毛毯魔方，应该是这应该是毡毛毡哦，应该不会啦，我是因为他的3个小孩发色不一样啊，他。第二个应该是女儿，她女儿的发色是跟那个艾莲娜一样的发色，所以应该是，然后我就 乔纳森应该是不会变笨蛋的，我是觉得他在菲利普的带领下应该不会变笨蛋。艾莲娜和杰克如今有两个子女，他们已经12岁，他妹妹莎莉9岁。艾莲娜和杰克工作的时候，由玛莎负责照顾他们。有人说玛莎和理查在交往，如果真的，那他们隐藏的真好。玛莎和理查。
The storm is tearing our east wall apart. If the storm works, I work. Jonathan, did you and the others come directly from Winchester?
Yes, we did.
What about Aliena?
She stayed a day longer for the Fleece Fair. She should be on her way back now.
In this storm?
We didn't expect it to get worse.
No one did.
I am sure she'll be all right.
I need to go. I think I know why the east wall is unstable.
Yes? Why is that?
I'm not sure, but I think the answer lies down in the crypt. I should hurry before it's too late.
我先看地基有什么。要不然先玩到这边好了，因为总觉得我有点想四处晃晃。好，今天玩到这里好了。好，我今天就先玩到这边了，明天再继续啊。好，就这样，晚安了，拜拜。